Okay, that smell, Warm spices, something comforting brewing, you can't beat it.
Oh, yeah.
You've probably run into it, right? Like, whether you've actually wandered those markets or just scrolled past it on your feed,
Yeah,
that aroma, Indian tea, it just pulls you in.
it really does.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into that very drink, chai, as you might know it.
Exactly. And not just a quick taste test. We're going deep on what makes Indian tea, masala chai especially, such an experience.
Like, think of this as the shortcut to really understanding it, all those little nuances.
Exactly.
So our mission, if you will, is to get past that basic recipe.
Yeah,
We're breaking down the ingredients, right? Figuring out how it's traditionally made, and then the culture, the variations you find. Because this isn't just something you drink, it's a whole thing.
it really is.
A ritual, a feeling, that warmth starts with the first sip.
And it's interesting, we say Indian tea. Most of us picture that spiced milky chai, right? Masala chai.
Yeah.
But it's not this fixed recipe. It's more like a core idea. There's a foundation, but then tons of twists on it. Personal, regional, all that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll find different spices, different sweetness. It really depends where you are, who's making it. But that process, the care, that, after the first sip, that's the common thread.
That's what ties it all together.
So let's get into the essentials, the building blocks of this. What do we need?
The base, the foundation, got to start with the tea leaves themselves.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we talking fancy white teas, greens. What's the go-to?
No, not for this.
Yeah.
For real deal Indian tea, you're looking at black tea, specifically the strong kind. The Assam, CTC, those are your workhorses.
And CTC, just for anyone listening, that's crush, tear, curl. The way it's processed makes it strong, bold.
Exactly. They can handle the milk, the spices. You need that strength.
A key with character, like it can stand up for itself.
It's gotta. Wouldn't want it getting lost in the mix. So strong black tea, that's key.
Got it. So then the liquid, the water, the milk, the ratios there seem important.
They do, yeah. I'd say a common guideline is like 1-to-1, water to milk. But honestly, it's personal preference in the end. Some people, they want it super milky, rich.
Right?
Others, they want that tea flavor to come through more. So less milk.
Sure.
Traditionally, though, full fat milk. That's the way to go.
Okay.
Creamier milk, most people feel, equals better texture, more satisfying.
Adds to that whole comforting vibe.
Really?
Now, the sweetness, because I've noticed Indian tea, it can be quite sweet.
It can be, yeah. In India, people don't shy away from the sugar. 1-2 teaspoons per cup, that's pretty standard.
Wow.
But of course, you adjust to your taste.
Yeah.
If you want it less sweet, go for it. That's the beauty of it.
So, strong black tea, water and milk, a good dose of sweetness. Now, for what many would say is the heart of it all, the spices.
Yes, the masala.
This is where the magic happens, right?
This is it. The spice blend, the masala, that's what gives masala chai that unique warmth, the character.
Yeah.
And the ones you'll almost always see. Fresh ginger, smashed up, cardamom pods, lightly cracked. Then you got cloves, cinnamon sticks, black peppercorns. Adds those layers of heat.
So that's the core, the building blocks. But you see other spices too, right? What are some of the frequent flyers?
Fennel seeds, that's a nice one. Optional, of course. Adds a little sweetness, almost like licorice.
Interesting.
Nutmeg you might see, star anise.
Mm-hmm.
Gives that licorice warmth again. Even bay leaf sometimes, depends on the region.
Wow.
But remember, you don't need a whole spice rack to make good chai. Even just fresh ginger, cardamom, those two alone can be amazing.
Good to know. Doesn't have to be overwhelming. Okay, we got our ingredients lined up. Now, how do we put this all together? What's the traditional method here?
It's definitely more involved than just hot water, tea bag, done.
Right.
It's about engaging with those ingredients.
Mm.
First thing, you got your spices, you got to crush them. Mortar and pestle, that's ideal.
Yeah.
And you're not pulverizing them, just a light crush, enough to release those oils.
So those aromas can really open up.
Exactly.
Okay, so then what?
Then water and those crushed spices into a saucepan. Bring it to a boil, let it simmer 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
And as it's doing its thing, that aroma, unbelievable, fills your whole kitchen.
Oh, I bet.
So the water's infused with those spices.
Nice.
Now the tea leaves go in, usually about a teaspoon per cup of chai.
Okay.
Simmer for another couple minutes. You'll see the water change. Deep reddish brown. The tea's steeping.
So now we've got spiced tea, essentially.
Right.
Time for the milk and sugar.
Exactly.
Mm.
Add them in. And here's a tip. Stir it gently, but like you mean it. One source said, like you're telling the chai a story.
I love that.
Then bring it back to a boil, but slow. And this is important. Keep an eye on it.
Uh-oh.
Chai likes to boil over if you're not watching.
The drama starts.
Oh, yeah. So it comes to a boil, let it bubble gently for a minute or two. It'll rise up, bubbles creeping at the sides like little drama queens.
That's a great visual.
Right, so then you lower the heat a tad, another gentle stir, let those flavors mingle.
Okay, almost there, the reward.
Almost. Now you pour it through a strainer right into your cups. And there it is, steaming, fragrant, homemade Indian tea, hot.
That sounds amazing. It really does feel more involved, mindful almost.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier, chai is more than just a flavor.
Right, let's talk about that. Culturally, how important is this drink?
It's huge. It's woven into daily life in India. It's everywhere. Offering it to guests, that's a must. Waking up in the morning, chai is part of the routine for so many people.
Wow.
Afternoon break at the office, you got to have chai.
Right.
And it sparks conversations, whether it's just chatting, serious talks, even arguments. Chai fuels it all.
Like a social cornerstone in a cup.
That's a good way to put it.
And what about the chaiwala that you always hear about?
Oh, the Chaiwala, classic sight. On almost every street corner, these tea sellers, they're just churning out cups of hot, sweet spiced tea. All sorts of people, everyone from laborers to students, office workers, everyone's getting their fix.
Wow.
And the cups, even those vary. You got the kulhad, traditional clay cup, then paper cups, little glasses, even plastic sometimes. But the experience, that's always rich.
It sounds like such a vibrant part of daily life.
Yeah.
And it feels like, regardless of who you are, what background, chai is something everyone can share.
Exactly. It cuts across any social lines. Truly democratic drink. You'll find it in the simplest homes and the fanciest places. It's a unifier.
I love that. Now, with chai being more of a concept than a strict recipe, there's got to be variations.
Oh, tons of them. So many interesting twists.
What are some of those regional or even just what people do in their own homes?
Well, you got adrak chai,
Yeah.
which is basically ginger tea. Ginger's the star, great for soothing if you get a sore throat, feeling under the weather.
Okay.
And there's elaichi chai, cardamom tea, sweet, floral, very comforting. Some say it even helps with stress.
Interesting.
Then moving away from that milky style, you got Kashmiri kawa, that's green tea,
Oh.
infused with saffron and almonds, really fragrant. And this one's served without milk.
Oh, wow. Whole different thing.
Totally. Then there's Bombay cutting chai, that's unique too. It's a half glass, but it's strong tea, extra sweet. Cutting means smaller portion, but the flavor's intense.
Like a little burst of energy.
That's it. And then, more recent, visually interesting, you got tandoori chai, served in clay cups, but those cups are heated in a tandoor oven first. Gives the tea a smoky flavor.
Wow, I've never heard of that.
It's gotten pretty popular. And then from Kerala, down south, there's Sulamani chai, black tea, but a bit tangy, sometimes with lemon and mint. So yeah, the world of Indian tea, lots to explore.
From smoky to tangy, something for everyone, it seems. But let's be real, making stuff at home doesn't always go perfectly.
Oh no, definitely not.
You know, our source even mentions the drama of making chai. What are some of the common, I guess we could call them mishaps that happen?
Oh, every chai maker's got a story, trust me. The boil over, classic. You look away for a second, bam, milky tea all over the stove. Then there's curdled milk. Happens if you get too much acid in there, like lemon juice.
Makes sense.
Getting the sugar, trying to stir it into lukewarm tea, another classic.
Been there.
And of course, the worst one, burning the chai.
Yeah.
That smell lingers.
Yeah, not good.
But it's all part of it. You learn from those mistakes.
It's the journey.
It's not about being perfect first try. It's about the process.
Yeah.
Seeing it change, the smells, the heat, being present.
And those mishaps, maybe they even become part of the stories we tell about our chai.
Exactly.
Now, you know, our source, they talk about this chai love story. It's this moment, rainy day in Delhi, very evocative. It gets that emotional connection people have with Indian tea.
That's a great story. Really captures something. Picture it.
Hmm.
Gray, rainy, you're cold, maybe a bit tired. Then someone hands you this small glass, hot, sweet, spiced chai.
A chaiwala, maybe?
Could be. And the world just stops for a second. The rain is not annoying anymore. It's atmospheric. And the chai, it's not just warming you up. It's like comfort for your soul.
Like a hug in a cup.
That's it. And it shows how chai is tied to these feelings, comfort, connection, even a sense of home.
That feeling of being cared for.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Now, switching gears a bit, our source mentions health benefits too. Is there actually something to that beyond just the enjoyment?
There is, surprisingly. The spices in masala chai, they've been known for their benefits for ages. Ginger, good for digestion, helps with nausea. Cardamom, some say it helps detox, freshens breath too. Cloves, they've got antibacterial stuff. Black pepper might help your metabolism.
Interesting.
And cinnamon, they say it helps regulate blood sugar. But of course, as our source points out, you load it up with sugar, those benefits might not be as strong.
Right, moderation.
Exactly.
So for anyone listening, inspired to try making their own chai, any tips, key things to keep in mind?
Absolutely. First, fresh spices, whole spices if you can. That old ground cinnamon in the back of your cabinet won't cut it.
Makes sense.
Don't overboil the milk. That's how you get curdling. And for sweetness, go gradual, taste as you go. Don't dump a ton of sugar in all at once.
Okay.
And like we said, watch the chai while it's heating. Avoid those boilovers. And a good strainer, that's a must. Nobody wants bits of leaves or spices in their drink.
Great advice. Very practical. Now it seems like chai isn't just something you drink, it's something you talk about. Our source gives some fun phrases, common in Indian culture.
Oh yeah, lots of those.
Can you share a few?
You might hear chalo, chai ho jai. Chai basically means let's have chai, very enthusiastic. Then there's ek garam chai ki pyali ho, which is I need a hot cup of tea, but said with feeling, like you really need it.
I like that.
And then there's chai, bahane bat ho gayi, which means we got to talk, thanks to chai. Shows how tea brings people together.
Really sums it up.
Yeah.
Now, with everything global these days, you see Indian tea popping up in cafes everywhere. Chai latte, that's the big one. How do people in India feel about these compared to the traditional homemade stuff?
It's interesting. On one hand, it's great, Indian tea getting recognition. But a lot of people in India feel like those cafe versions, often made by machines, they're missing something. They say, real chai, it has an emotion, a spontaneity, a soul you don't get from a machine. It's not just the taste, it's the whole process, the hands-on, the care, that feeling of the steam, the spices blending as you make it.
Like that human touch is missing.
Exactly. So yeah, it's great that it's popular, but there's something about that homemade chai can't be replicated.
It's that personal connection to it that makes it special.
Definitely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what would you say is the real essence of making and appreciating Indian tea?
I think it comes down to a few simple things. You gently boil water and milk together, add your tea, your spices, sweeten it how you like. Then you watch it simmer, stir with care, and most importantly, you share it.
Even if it's just with yourself.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful ritual. And it's clear chai is more than just a drink. It connects people, it comforts you on a tough day, and it forces you to just stop, take a moment.
It does.
So if you're listening and haven't tried making it yourself, I'd say go for it. You might have a few mishaps along the way, a boil over, maybe some curdled milk, but that's all part of it.
It is.
And who knows, you might find your own chai love story. Because like our source said, it's not just about the flavor, it's about that feeling of home wherever you are.
That's a good note to end on.
It is.